at DjangoCon US. It's day 3. We're in Chicago, and we are joined by a really amazing guest called Lillian from Djangonaut Space. Lillian, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Lillian, and I got involved with Djangonaut Space first as a mentee. We were in the same session together.
Yeah.
And then I continued getting involved as the captain. And then I also did the session organizer, and so I've been really involved. And the next coming session, I'll be the navigator.
Wow, that's exciting. You've really gone through the different levels there are. Would you give us more details on the different levels there are?
Yeah, so there are many different roles. So there's the Djangonauts, those are the mentees.
Mm-hmm.
There's the captains, those are mentors that are more focused on like one-on-one type of meetings with the Djangonauts. And then there's the navigators. They focus on the team level, so they guide the projects and they help the team with any bugs that they encounter. And then there's also session organizers, and those are kind of the people who make sure that the sessions run smoothly. They make sure that sessions happen.
Awesome. And now that you've kind of like gone through the different levels or roles, what's your favorite?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I think session organizer was really interesting to me because I've always been an engineer, but I never really knew how to think on like a team level. And so this kind of gave me the opportunity to work on overseeing the different teams. So I thought that was really interesting, and also putting on events and just making things happen.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. And you mentioned now you're going to be a navigator in the next session, right? Are there projects that you were eyeing to navigate for?
Yeah, so I'll be navigating the Django core project.
Wow. And I also saw that you did a couple of, was it live streams of like people reviewing PRs and actually working on an issue? Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so that was with space reviewers.
Yeah.
And that was started by Tim Schilling and Rafaela.
Yeah.
And so we tried to put together a live stream where we walk through how we think and how we review PRs, so that other people could see what that process is like, and they could see us make mistakes too, and they could have an idea of how they can get into PR reviews.
Wow. How many PR reviews have you done for Django so far?
I have not counted, but I think I have done maybe around 5 or so.
That's huge. Congratulations for that. I mean, looking at somebody else's work and trying to also make sure that they're hitting the right points and that they're not overdoing or underdoing is really important. And I like the fact that you also mentioned at first that you were doing engineering first and then you started getting into the community and now you're a session organizer. Would you tell us a little bit more of why exactly you keep doing or keep getting involved with Djangonaut Space?
I think it's kind of a calling for me. I just keep getting pulled in, and I feel like I benefited from the program, and I want to give back by helping it shape what it wants to become, because I've been through the process and I've experienced many different sides, and I think I'd like to make use of that experience.
Yeah, totally understandable.
I think there's like a lot of opportunities to take this very far.
Wow, we would love to see it. We will still be following to see how far Djangonaut Space goes. And one last question is, if you wanted to let the community know what kind of help Djangonaut Space needs, would you be open to telling us how we could help or how we could make it easier for other sessions and for the program to have more sessions maybe? Because a lot of people want to be Djangonauts.
Yes, definitely. So in terms of having more contributors get involved, we are looking for more navigators always.
Yeah.
And that would help us scale the teams because we're kind of limited by the navigators. And on top of that, we're also looking for funding. So if we could get funded, we would be able to continue operating.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lillian, for joining us for this particular interview and telling us a lot more about Djangonaut Space. We are better for it. And we also thank you for continuously pouring in into the program to make sure that Django is sustainable at the end of the day. So that was Lillian, ladies and gentlemen. And if you'd like to donate all these programs, Django Software Foundation, Django Events Foundation North America, Black Python Devs, Djangonaut Space, and Django Girls are all looking for resources in form of whether mentorship or in form of money. They all accept donations, so donate. Thank you, Lillian.
Thank you, Rhoda.